Welcome to Deep Thought. Focus on the message and not the person. And this is very important because a lot of times when someone is given some type of message or saying something and someone disagrees with it, instead of actually addressing the message, they focus on the person. And they engage in what's called ad hominem attacks. They're attacking the person, but not addressing the message at all, right? And I was thinking about that, and that's been a common thing. And the thing is, whether the message is good or bad, focus on the message and not the person. Because say the message is a bad message, but people might listen to it from a certain person, right? But because they like the person or admire the person's doing something, they can relate to the person, they don't really listen to the message. Like a person could be they can be a legitimately good person, give some jacked up information. Or they could be a really bad person, but people not listening to what they're actually saying, right? They're not listening to what they're actually saying. And they'll just go with the message, followed along instead of just because they like the person. But if they were to listen to the message, they'd be like, you know what? That message is whack, you know? And that can be a situation where the message is bad, but then sometimes the message could be good and the person could be whack, or you feel like the person is whack, you know? Like the person might have, you might not like something personal about the person. That's usually what it is. You know, they might not be the right gender, right race, something about them just rub you the wrong way, but you're not paying attention to what they're actually saying. You focus on the message. What's the message? What are they actually saying? Listen to the message. And then just a pure situation where you want to challenge the message. Many people engage in those ad hominem attacks. They challenge the person, but it's like, okay, you don't like something the person did. What is it? Can you say something about the message? Can you point to what they're saying and say that's incorrect? Do you have an argument against that? Indeed, that's where that old ad hominem attacks come in, because people, they can't really refute the message. They can't really intelligently challenge the message. So they get on the person. Well, I ain't gonna listen because this person said it. Is it true or not? Like, for example, you might not like a person personally, but they might say something, they might say something that could help you make $1 million, that can really help you in life. Now, you might not like the person, and, you could say pay attention to the person, but you take the message separately and apply it and test it out, Because the reality is, when we don't like the person, most of the time it don't got nothing to do with the message. Like I said, we might not like their gender. We might not like their race. We might not like that they're tall. We might look at that person, I'm saying as a collective, and say, oh, well, I ain't gonna listen to it. They're ugly. And I'm dead serious, I ain't gonna listen. I'm like, okay, but what's the message? You letting the personal things get in the way of what could be a good message. Because, an argument would be, well, if they giving the message and everything, it can't be good. Are you sure? Because like I said, it don't come down to any, if you would ask somebody, okay, what is it about that person? It'd just be a personal thing, what that person say or do. Do you know that person personally? Because that'll happen a lot online. You get some people that get in the comments and try to challenge the person. But it's like, why are you challenging them? What is it about the person? Is the message wrong, or is there something about that person you don't like? Which is a personal thing. Okay, you don't have to hang out with that person. What's the message? And like I said, the message could be bad itself. Break the message down. Like someone smart, and I've heard some people say it. They say, look, I don't know this person, but this is the problem I had with that particular message. A, B, and C. They'll break it down. Like many of people, and you do get some people, they'll challenge a message and say, look, I don't have nothing against the deliverer of the message. I'm not going to attack the messenger. I'm looking at the message itself. you know? And that's what you have to do. Focus on it. Because a lot of times people miss out on something, and if you really challenge them, you really ask them, they got something small against that, right? Like, I use the example, what kind of inspired this one, right? Because, on my other channel, I got my two openings. One's coming up the steps, one I'm walking from the back, and I get this little, glass, and I'm like, yeah. And you got somebody, they actually said in a comment, and they were like, oh, I can't listen to that message. You up there drinking that wine or anything. First of all, if we ever watch it, I don't drink. That was like some cranberry juice. But it was all about the image. Part of this is a show. Part of this is a show, right? And somebody might say, well, I don't like that show. I don't like this. I don't like that setup. Like, you get some people talking about the setup. Who gives a shit? You trying to get the message. If somebody's telling me, if somebody's like, you got some content creators talking about money, right? What to do, some money advice. I don't give a shit what's in the background. I don't give a shit what their race is. Shoot. We could be diametrically opposed. I'm listening to the message. It could be a situation, okay, me and that person, they ain't gonna hang out. I don't want that person in my home. But they talking about something I do care about, making some money. Or they got something on how to fix something I need to know how to fix, so I don't have to take it to a repair person. I ain't gonna hang out with that person. I ain't gonna say, well, I ain't gonna listen to them, because I'm like, dude, it's just a message. Seriously, I was thinking about that. It was like, and I see so many people that get caught up, but see, they get caught up in their personal feelings. It's like, dude, you don't know that person personally any damn way. You don't know that person. But even then, and if you did know the person, is their message valid? Because I've known some people in life, like I said, I would not hang out with them, wouldn't want them to know where I live. But they said some stuff and you're like, hold up, wait a minute. They got a good point, And if the message is benefiting me, I would use it. Anybody got to think like that, because you never know where it come from. See, my Theory Jones thing is this. Whenever you get any information, just take it in, but you don't have to apply it until you see where you can apply it. Because seriously, I've had interested people say some stuff, and you're like, damn, they got a good point. They got a good point that makes sense. Don't worry about where it's coming from, because like I said, people usually have a problem with someone just for personal reasons. And I'm like, don't let that get in. You don't have to hang out with that person. A lot of people miss out on good knowledge because they didn't want to listen. Indeed, I'm gonna tell you what. This is how I know. This is how I know it ain't even about the person. It ain't even about the message. It's about the person. How often have we seen a situation or been in a situation? Likely been, let's be real. I've been there. I don't have a problem saying that. Somebody tell you something, but because you had a problem with them, you didn't want to hear the message. Okay, so you got that. Somebody tell you something, they give you some information and message, but because you didn't like that person personally, for whatever reason, you didn't want to listen. But then somebody else come along and say the same exact thing, almost word for word, but you like that person. See, I learned that lesson back in my early 20s. Hey, two women tell me the same thing. I didn't like the first one. So I was like, oh, I ain't listening. The second one told me the same thing. In actual harsher terms. The exact same thing in harsher terms. But because I liked it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's a good message. That's when I first started thinking about that. I was like, hold up. The message was valid the first time. So after that, when somebody I focused on the message. Because I had a couple people tell me some stuff I didn't like. But I didn't focus on them personally. I focused on what was actually said. I want you to think about that. Think about when that's happened. Think about when you've heard something from somebody else. Shoot, that might be from content creators. How many people can hear something from one content creator and reject it, but the same exact thing from a content creator they like? Think about it. Focus just on the message, okay? That's all that matters. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for now. And get back with y'all. Keep rising. Peace and blessings.